Alright, Raven. Per your obligations with your patron, you are called upon from time to time to help ferry the dead at sea
21.
to their final restings.
Okay.
Other than that, your life is yours to do so as you wish.
Okay.
What do you wish?
After the damn near traumatizing events of all of it, but mainly that past week of going through, fighting the dragons, eviscerating a lich who wanted to ascend to godhood, losing essentially a little sister, and then losing who she considered like a brother/father figure, and then gaining them both back within the same week. Basically, it was just fucking crazy. So, always one to deal with, deal well, grace under pressure, deal well with stress. Raven then decided to plan a wedding.
Whoa!
She would rather have fought Isrod 1,000 times over. She is able to take down literal giants in just a few quick swipes of her maelstrom cutlass, and yet is woefully unprepared when it comes to what color fucking icing the cake. It doesn't matter. It's cake. Jesus.
Doesn't matter. It all tastes like shit.
The edible color.
Finally, though, setting on all the details that her and Kadi both agreed on, settling on the venue, the menu, the seating, the guest list, everything. Raven and Kadi were wed with,
Yay!
as an honor to both, their permission willing, with both Calum, and Valor officiating it, having, symbolically, both Serenray and the Raven Queen looking over, so that we would be together in death and in life.
Part, yeah. Wait, so we both get to be officiant? Fuck yeah, bro. Dual ceremony casting.
Does that mean you get twice as long? Or twice as strong?
Yes.
Exactly. Good job, guys.
Your AC is increased by 2 for a week.
Woohoo!
Unless it's 4 for 2 weeks.
Maybe I want it. Never mind. At the reception, during all of the Tortal traditions, especially that of throwing the bouquet, all of the eligible bachelorettes of Tortal gathered. Raven looked, made careful aim, was going to throw, but instead simply turned around and handed the bouquet to Aurelia.
The pressure is on.
Yeah. Afterwards, they both of them settled in Tortal in a seaside cottage. It's modest, yet comfortable. It's not too flashy. It's not too whatever. Raven gave up possession of the rogue for good. She still checks in from time to time as essentially a veteran member slash anybody who can try to take her is more than welcome to.
You can certainly try.
Kadi rose through the ranks of the Tortal of the court, eventually basically becoming like the highest military command imaginable.
The general.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if they had like a special hand of the queen, whatever. Okay. Sorry, I have to think here for a moment. So then, using her wealth and power, authority, influence of her days in Torch, at the site of the Torch Keep, Raven actually erected a structure so that anyone who wished to express themselves in song or culture or wrestling matches for whatever reason were more than welcome to. It was officially consecrated by Calum River Song, and it was consecrated and named the Vain Throne Amphitheater. From time to time, her patron called upon her to perform her duty, that having worked so long with Valor Grimwood and understanding the very delicate responsibility that is ferrying people comfortably into the next life, she takes in absolute stride and with utmost maturity. Trying to think of what else, honestly. In downtown Portal, that the very one. In the, I guess, Lower City. Yeah. Lower City District. Raven, he basically makes a bar, a tavern, I guess, where she spends out kind of pretty much the rest of her days just being the proprietor, owner. She actually finds that she loves, like, not necessarily serving people, but just making people feel like they're welcome, no matter what. I'm trying to remember the name I thought up for it, sorry. Oh, it was called the Maelstrom, that's what it was. Exactly. She then convinces Kadi, who at first was very adamant against having children, but convinced her to go ahead, and they adopted using Lafayette's orphanage, because Raven knows firsthand that being unwanted sucks. So they adopted 3 children. A half-elf, who they decide to name Fulbert. A tiefling, same skin color as Raven, in fact, named Violet, because her eyes, in the right light, they just shone violet. And then the third was a gruff human. You could tell that he was among the older orphans, and typically they kind of like age out of the system kind of thing. So she felt that it was kind of destiny. She got there just in time and decided to kind of honor that child, that she was able to get to this one in time, as opposed to the first time that she couldn't get to him in time. She named her son Thorn. Done.
Yo, can you, like, stop stabbing me?
No. 96.
Caleb's wait, you got 21.
I rolled a d20 though. Was I supposed to roll something else?
Should we include how our characters die?
If it has significance.
Not really. She died in almost a stark, spiteful contrast to how she spent most of her early life. She died peacefully, in her sleep, in the warm embrace of her loving wife and kids. The funeral was momentous, it was loud, shit got broken, drinks were sloshed, it was a fucking good time. She was buried on her ship, as if in one final voyage. It basically sailed out, keeping up with the grand legend of Raven Shadowlock. Some say that that ship is still sailing around the world looking for any of the souls that may have been condemned to the seas, but if it does, cool. If not, she lived a good life.
Hell yeah.
Finn. Fade to black.
Shark baby.
Oscar checks. Anyway.
Oscar checks. Thank you.
Oscar. Anyway.
3. What'd you roll?
You good?
Fucking pleb?
You didn't roll?
No.
What?
Oh,
I thought that said 1.
12.
What'd you get?
0.1.
What'd you get?
Fuck.
1.
Okay. Valor.
What'd you roll? A 3. Nice.
In your time with Gamora, there were originally some fertility issues. Things didn't go the way you had planned. Eventually, if you wanted to adopt, she kind of wanted kids. So.
If I could, I'd find twins. wouldn't separate them both. If they had names, they can keep them or get rid of them. And if they wanted to get rid of them,
Twins.
the twins would be Valora and Venra. I would, like a son, adopt a son. Let Gamora choose the name if I want him. Other than growing his arm back in probably the first couple weeks.
Dex
Save. And she probably tells me that when I say Valora, that was actually the half sister. He chills. As much as Valor can, he chills the fuck out. Regrows his arm and just gets the normal tattoo back. It doesn't have. It's not magical at all. It's just the tattoo. When Gamora's not paying attention, he probably teaches the kids how to use wooden weapons.
Gamora not paying attention.
Wooden weapons. Whatever ones they decide they want to practice with, I'll teach them how to use them properly without hurting themselves. Do not teach them any blood hunter shit.
Just let your wrist damage.
And then
One of
after
them figures it out by themselves.
I figured one of the kids would be like, how do you use this? It's a bow staff. What the fuck? Great sword.
whatever you want. I am master of all weapons. In between doing the wedding, he plans for trying to find Hunter's body. If he can find it, he wants to give it a proper burial and do it under a ceremony that allows a certain thing that I'll get to in a minute. Other than that, if something shit wants to happen and they decide they need him anywhere, like he wants to set up like a hotline, like for different people, so they can call and ask for help if they need it.
Ring. Devil May Cry.
Red line.
All the weapons we didn't use, and if nobody wants them, the weapons of the old team, I want to, with permission from Gamora, and if she wants to go with me, take them to see Keyleth.
She's for sure going on that trip.
Hmm?
She's for sure going on that trip.
So, and if anybody else wants to, like Fanboy,
Chum chum.
Fanboy, wanna go meet Gayla?
Can you sign my leaf?
Can you sign my Golfius?
Can you sign my shine weight?
that probably goes about as well as
Every other fucking Torch adventure.
I don't blow shit up though.
You come back.
Alpan says
Alpine
no.
says no.
He's asleep in a cave. It's fine.
No, the place.
place, not the people.
I don't blow her kingdom up wherever she's at, is what I'm trying
The
to
planet,
say.
my son, or me?
Yes.
Fucking smart ass.
Fucking smartass.
However that goes, I respectively give her all of them. Except for these. Okay, and when I will give them to you when I pass. I don't tell her what my idea is, but she could probably just be like, wisdom up to you, so I know what you're thinking.
She's been around for a bit.
Yeah. In my head, the face goes, he says hello.
She's probably not had to think about that for 1,000 years. And you
Fair.
just walk up and are like, hi, stab.
As soon as I walked into the fucking place, she knew what I was. If she's been building a tree that has relics from the Raven Queen, there's ravens everywhere. And as soon as I walked in the fucking place, they were like...
Yo.
But, all of the... I say hi to her, as much as I dreading it, going back to that place where the mountain was. No, the other mountain.
Death Mountain.
I don't bring Gamora on that one.
Okay.
It should be a quick fucking trip. Fine. I doubt anybody's alive, or they somehow dug their way out.
Forgot about that man.
I used keen mind.
But if there is, I don't get off the ship. I'm just like, human spirit will fucking push you whatever you want, I guess. And I'll ride home if there's anyone there. There is?
Small, tiny village remains. They rebuilt after the avalanche. They live on the side of the mountain. Avalanches don't happen that often, but they happen.
I probably bring like a onyx stone that
What
I
did you
don't-
bring for the dragon turtle?
probably a lot of shit ton of money, gold and fucking gems and shit I find.
It's not enough.
Your booty.
I
I need you to roll another d20 roll, please. Just tell me the number.
Just for what?
A d20 roll. Just tell me the number.
17.
18.
10.
18.
My favorite number, 6.
I wanted us to go out on one last natural 20.
It was close. It was like natural 20. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you a natural 20 on persuasion. Hey, baby, I shit my pants. Can you get into yours?
Oh, yeah. That's a
Anyway,
real fat ass. You should.
He lives pretty easily. Still trains all the time. Goes back to the Magistar with the kids and Gamora. He tries to figure out if he
Interestingly
can,
enough, they have a full scholarship. Weird.
Every once in a while, if Zarkon's still there, I'm gonna be like, he's a grumpy motherfucker. Watch out for him. I just continue my work as the champion, going around helping people, spreading her influence. Every once in a while I'll probably get in a fight with some monster that was way too strong for me a long time ago, but I can just go, motherfucking...
Boop this new.
Don't you ever
Disrespect my cow.
Every year past when we fought Isrod, I hold the Torch Games. Every year. I get the ocarina fixed. Enchanted with the same thing. As best as I can remember. And since it was probably shattered, I start the tradition over again. Because I took some of his ashes. And I use his to mix in the enchantment. And I give it to his brother.
Liam.
In between the years you've known Valor, like, he doesn't age. Basically, the only pretty much age you see is like a gray piece of hair and a couple pieces of like white. You know where it used to be red.
I just attributed that to stress.
No.
Okay.
You know where his hair used to be red. That starts to turn white. Shit.
Okay.
But other than like maybe a little bit of age, but not too much.
Shut up.
You're right. Shut up.
Shut up, you correct person.
Does Gamora age at all? Or does she stay the same?
Gamora, having lived damn near 2,000 years, finally found someone she wanted to grow old with.
Okay.
And she decides not to call herself once again.
Okay. One of the times I'm like, you tell me what the fuck is on here? Like we're like 75 or something like that. I'm like, what is on this? It burns. I talk to people. What? Why?
Here's just a simple reminder of the vows you took and a tracker to where I know where you're at.
Okay.
How do you think I can vamp to you all the time?
Oh. Would you look at that?
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean...
Fuck, that means Louise knows where I am at all.
That's right. Oh, fuck up.
Grocery store my ass.
If any of the I talk with Hector, I let him I finally take this motherfucker to Magistar so he can read some books. I have someone proofread my journal and write it.
Publish.
Yes. Into the Chronicles of Valor, Grimwood, and Torch. Because the last 80 page, he still fills it out, but at one point there you can see where he stopped, and there's almost a whole entire page of nothing, and that was right before the Isrod fight started, and then he continues on the rest. And it's a little bit fucked up because it's written with his left hand.
Technically can write with both, just not as pretty with the left hand.
So I have someone write that, proofread it, make it.
What you're looking for is edit.
Edit. There's a lot of cuss words in there.
Censor.
Yeah, CC, proofread it.
Disengage the bad words.
Yeah. If any of these motherfuckers decide they want to fight something every once in a fucking while, yay. Probably about when Valor turns about 160. He's still a little, like, a little bit, but you can tell there's been so much wear on his bones. Like, he's just been beaten down. Like, he went from 6 foot to like a 5'8" hunch kind of thing. And
That scoliosis hit hard.
Wow,
Yeah,
you're
I
going
mean,
back to your original height.
Old man Logan.
yeah.
What'd I do?
Yep.
And Valor, he keeps telling Gamora he doesn't want to go when it's bed. She keeps fucking bitching at him. So he just goes asleep, and just he probably goes before you do.
For context, Death Order, Lafayette, Caleb, Hector, Valor, and Raven at the same time.
Woo.
Lafayette dies first?
Yeah.
Oof.
It's all the
So-
sweet
By a
ones.
bit.
How old do I die at?
It would be percentile of,
Okay.
But
and I'm not calculating that.
yeah,
Aurelia's cooking. Diabetes took you real quick, man. Childhood
I,
obesity.
I like to imagine you just walked off.
I spend in my like traveling times. I go to the bar all the time.
Yeah.
Probably
Torch
the first
members drink free.
Time, yeah, probably the first time I came in, I kicked the fucking door open. Like, hey, remember this?
Ah, good times,
You cut my target.
good times.
You broke the fucking door. Now I have to buy another one. Money. So
No, I know you have the gold, Raven. Shut up.
Throws his sunglasses aside and just starts fanning gold coins at the bar.
People getting pelted
When-
because
Yeah,
it's gold
yeah,
coins.
yeah.
when
hell?
when Valor goes, when Valor goes, his
Please don't.
I usher Gamora. My soul basically tells Gamora to go. I'll meet you sometime later. And I go to the castle, the tower, and I ask the Raven Queen to release Vax.
Upon your ascent, Vax is released. With him, Keyleth goes too. You only serve for about 50-ish years before another worthy champion.
Oh, I put him through hell.
Oh
Yeah.
Pavon.
And then
You get to create the Raven Queen's tower that he has to ascend through to get to you.
What a prick.
On a loudspeaker, this new champion here is, alright, bitch, the safety word's Zarkon.
That's just written on the floor. Just
that's
safe
the
word is
glyph.
Zarkon.
That's the glyph that you walk through, and it just yeah.
Every
Hopefully you can read
floor just
Primordial,
loses an
bitch.
arm.
I can already hear some dude just go.
So every once in a
Who the
while,
fuck? What
because
safety
it's a
word?
Sarasworn, I don't have to stay at the tower. I basically get my own kingdom in the Shadow Belt. In my kingdom, 2 or 3 of my generals, if they want to, one of them's Hunter. And the other is whoever wants to. So you can decide whoever my other general is.
Okay.
And wherever she tells us to go, whatever dimension, whatever realm we need to go to, we go there. And find relics. If we have to kill fucking Izrod multiple times, we will. I don't stop until she tells me to stop. Even when I am even when the next champion comes, I don't stop. Valor continues his fight for almost eternity. And since he's immortal, basically, now. If Gamora wants to stay here, she doesn't have to be. She'd be the brightest motherfucker in the Shadowfell.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be great.
It's a little drab for me.
Like, you can make the castle whatever color you want on the inside. He's got magic stuff.
One of the floors is just Gamora's shop. It's a remake. I'm like, okay, what's the challenge here then? I have to fight a monster, battle of wits, battle of spells? Nope. Win an argument against her. Who? Gamora just steps in.
Battle of glamour.
And
There's a chart table for some reason. That means something. It's a symbol.
Symbolism.
So that means I'd bury him. I would.
Yep.
Yeah. I would do all the realistic stuff that he would want me to do for him and his mom and so forth. Hopefully my kids don't fuck off and burn shit down.
Not too bad. I mean, they're your kids.
God, if all of our kids had Torch too.
The one of them that does choose the lance, I give him the lightning one.
Is his name Lance?
No.
Or you little bitch.
Yeah.
Callum.
Caleb.
Well,
This is the first time that Caleb has not gone last. Second time not made it.
in the short term, he still has a couple of adventures left in him. Nothing huge.
So you go with the one on
The vestiges that he had gotten, the armor of the Valiant Soul, the Dawn Martyr plate, that stuff, is returned to places he feels appropriate. The Valiant Soul armor is taken back to the leader of Marquette and given to them as a token or a gift. And the Dawn Martyr plate, as well as the Mace of Disruption, is put into the into the tombs of the large Serenray Temple in Tortal, where they are seen as magical or religious relics, and are put in the highest security vaults that we can possibly have.
We're not even Raven can break through.
Actually,
Yeah, you know.
I employ Raven to help make it. That way,
The thief goes into security. Fuck.
That's
Exactly.
where Raven goes to hide whenever she's sulking behind Cuddy, away from Cuddy.
She yelled at me.
And
So much shit before.
he acquires some new gear to just have, basically. He him and Luis and he, try for another baby.
They're successful.
So Lil Real gets a little brother and or sister. Or both, or
you can choose.
whatever they.
Multiple choice.
Roll a d20.
Ooh.
A dwarf.
Rolled for gender, what the heck?
12.
I don't know. You figure out whenever they're old enough to tell you.
Oh, get fucked. Social
Um,
commentary.
I mean, that's political. Welcome to the channel.
So,
BLM, bitch.
he takes a trip to the tree where Oomph was
Symbolically buried.
Yeah, symbolically buried. And just kind of every so often on the anniversary of his death, he'll make that trip from Nephro to that tree.
Fucking cute, dude. Like,
You settle in Nephro.
Well, it's actually kind of a choice. Like, it's because like we have a lot to offer in Chorus or in Tortal, but you know I'm from Nephro, so it's
Your parents do eventually make up.
I'll roll a d20.
actually maybe I'll stay in Tortal and they can go back to Nephro because there's a lot of stuff that I can do in Tortal and try and make the city better.
he's but my prince.
Okay. He's your butt prince?
Sometime eventually, maybe make the slums not so slummy. Cookie cutter houses and
Oh. Oh no.
Urban development.
What do you mean it's not real grass?
Welcome to Arizona.
Ugh.
So they get a house, settle down, put the kids through school. He eventually becomes the high priest of the temple. Helps to spread
You can pretty much just do that whenever you want.
helps to spread the religion to all who would welcome it. Anytime he's called on for assistance from the crown, he answers. But every now and again, he either goes off to make his little pilgrimage or visits mom and dad in Nephro, or he visits the bar on opening day.
Oh yeah.
And maybe we coordinate group get-togethers where we just rent the bar out for the night or something.
You know we got bendy straws up in this bitch.
Poker night.
You're fucked.
I don't know how. Go fish.
lose all of the small amount of gold we bring to the rogue.
I start putting fucking just magic items on the table.
Severed head of a Gorgon. I hope. I don't.
How the fuck did you get that?
For me, it was a Tuesday.
Actual bone.
Yeah, it's Cabo.
Well, it doesn't like.
He I don't know. Mine's kind of boring. I mean, he settles down. He had a family and kid before, you know.
You do what you told Louise you would do. Your wife. I said her name wrong.
Yeah.
You do it. Yeah. You told her you were going to settle down after this show.
I retire. I retire and I settle down. We put the kids through school. I'm there for them. You know, make sure they have a happy life and that the world is a better place than when we left it. And, you know, he goes in his sleep. Weary bones. You know, one day he figures out he's old enough that he puts away all of his equipment and in a chest or something and digs a hole fucking 10 feet deep and drops that shit in there and then buries it all.
And forgets where he buried
Alzheimer's.
it. Doesn't take notes.
Oh, no, don't give that boy doesn't deserve dementia.
Nobody deserves dementia.
That's fair.
You ever looked at somebody like, dude, you deserve deteriorative brain damage? What
Trauma.
I mean,
Biden. He's already went by there.
Whoa.
You beat Lafayette.
maybe someday a priest or a cleric or a paladin comes to him and he trains the next generation.
Fuck yeah, dude. There's no way.
But
Should train light and dark. Fucking warriors in Tortall. Yeah.
so where there will always be a night man, there will also be a day man.
Boo.
Or woman.
Or a woman.
We're not binary because who the fuck cares?
You're right.
What about the Jade Dragon? Where's he at?
But
Dead.
Oh.
Tree.
Egg.
Apples.
he goes in his sleep.
Hot fruit.
Dork.
He and Louise go in their sleep, lying next to each other,
Notebook style.
notebook style. And one day he just shows up on the island of Renewal and sits on the sands until an angel or Serenity walks out there to go meet him. And
Aw.
I said someone.
You are reunited once again with an old friend.
And when he sees Calum, he doesn't look like the old man who just passed away. He looks like the early to mid 20s that he met in the first place. He sits there with his hands in his pockets, looking out in the astral sea. He's got a red head on, leaning on his shoulder.
It's pretty fucking hot, dude.
Every now and then the Gith Yankee roll up and be like, is that
do.
tiefling with you guys?
I do.
Shit, are you okay?
I want to figure out if I could figure out what her curse was. If I could release that, the dragon, the green dragon.
Oh.
I told her
Oh shit, we left her in a Pokeball.
I promised to release her.
Sometime during Valor's Adventures, we also went to hell and defeated the Rakshasa. Yay, happy ending.
Oh yeah. it was a short fucking trip. It was pop him out of the Pokeball, smash his skull.
After 10,000 years, what are you doing?
And in between, like,
The Maelstrom gets a new tiger skin.
because I can travel in dimensions.
Dude, that's my great grandma, dude. Don't do that.
I'll walk up. I didn't think you was gonna go before me.
We all had our time. That was mine.
And you watch Valor's head go.
You had the higher initiative.
You watch Valor's head go. It's nice meeting you again. I'll see you. Gotta go. And there's like this fucking like rift opens up, and he steps through. I know who the other general is. Hunter's other character is a psycho.
What?
Oh,
Yes!
God.
Whitechapel.
Yes.
And
Nicholas Whitechapel.
And then the commanders, like the healer, like in my group for the healer, Asanat.
Yay. Asanat proper, not Narilatha.
Yeah.
Nadia, pardon?
Near
I
left
had
He was
blood
an
on my
Eldritch
brain.
Core and
So I guess
Okay.
So I guess when I show up, you see Hunter, and some other weirdo motherfucker, and some really giant motherfucker, bigger than me.
As you like, if you ever look back over your shoulder, he kind of shakes his head at you, turns, and then it just, and there's like gold feathers that just fall into the sand.
Douche.
Says the guy who poofs on the black feathers.
Yeah.
Why does it smell like Axe body spray?
Ooh.
And so concludes the epic of the Dove and the Raven.
They fucked. Once.
You're welcome.
Because you're immortal on this island, and I can travel through any dimension. So
I'm down. I'll spend all of eternity protecting that island.
do that, man.
What are those train carts called where you push it, like you're the one manually pumping the train cart?
Yeah, it's just called
just
mine
called a
cart. Yeah.
Anyway, Hector.
We dug deep for that one.
After a while, I have both Calum and Fowler help me renew mine analysis vows.
Dead cat.
How many people in this group do I marry?
Just one, you unfaithful twat. But you officiate several weddings of your closest friends and family.
Okay, that's what I mean.
I know, I just wanted to call you unfaithful. It was a word of the day on my calendar.
Oh yeah, there's not even a question.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Blaze, get off the trash can.
So
Yeah, get off me.
Shoot it.
You didn't have time to prepare for that one.
so we renew the wedding vows.
Yeah.
Renew the wedding vows. After a while, we try again for another kid.
Roll a d20.
Is this one called Maroon?
If Violet has nightmares, don't worry
12.
about it.
Success.
It's a side effect.
Burgundy.
Young boy named River.
Ooh.
Ooh,
And-
fuck you.
I watch as Violet. I fund a library as well as a doctor's office in Tortal.
As you are now but a doctor.
Yep. I still occasionally try and use some of the powers that I was so used to, but I watch as they develop in Violet as she still trains, and I eventually get her to mentor under Kadi.
Ow.
After a lot of convincing with Raven and Kadi to allow Violet to train under Kadi. But throughout their schooling, I see that River takes more of an interest in the healing side.
And probably becomes the cleric that I train.
Yep.
Dope.
During the trip with Valor, I gain more information on the Great Library and eventually make that trip, finding the Book of Exalted Deeds that I hand down to River.
This is why you die first.
There are many reasons why.
Is it because I tried to eat the sword twice?
You go around just dipping your face in every cauldron you can find, hoping for your long lost kids. You just end up boiling your head off.
Don't tell him about the one under Tortel.
Shh.
I already know about that one. I'm going back.
I spend as much time with my family, both in Torch and the one that I regained.
We play poker every other month. Lose all our money.
I also partake in the
I can
Torch.
afford toasters.
I also partake in the Torch games.
That's how we get free drinks, is because she takes all our money. Ah, you already paid for them. Fuck you.
They're not really free. I just take it from you for money.
Yeah, like health insurance
So just deposit.
or something.
You said you take part in the Torch games?
Yep.
Are you a fighter?
Nope.
Okay. On-field
It
medic?
could be the doctor.
Field
yeah.
medic.
Watch Valor. Beat the shit out of beef.
The differences in field medics, though, is that Hector's just like, okay, so what are we dealing with? Oh, fractured ankle, okay. Valor's just like, you'll feel red as rain, give me a moment.
Let me just... On the count of 3. 1...
Is that a dislocated
What you got?
shoulder?
What, you got, tonsillitis?
But other than that, his
Check a prostate.
his life is back to normal. No adventures, because no longer does he have ways or reasons to fight. Everything that he wanted is back. And he goes into sleep.
Lafayette.
So, you motherfuckers ready for this?
Turned into a gold
Last one to speak, first one to go.
Soon after...
We get my kids back?
we last left our heroes.
Never mind.
His last words were, no, it's just a paper cut.
You find out... It really is expected. And then you find out it's twins.
Oh.
I was right!
And it's a boy and a girl.
Oh.
Are they darker in tone?
You can't say that.
I was trying not to say are they gray.
Are they gray?
Yeah, are they gray?
No.
I forgot to mention River is a Eladrian, but with almost satyr horns.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you get this
Oh god. I'm fine.
Eladrian with satyr horns, just like. So who's Sarah? Right?
So who's Sarah?
So who does Sarah and Richard?
Yeah.
She seemed pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, you seem pretty.
Why he's flipping?
I love Serenade, but I wish you talked to me more. You and me both, brother.
He has 3 choices of domain he can take: life, light, and war.
Life.
So,
Because life needs life to live.
Good quote.
He's
Solid
also
quote.
he's almost
The man-
Vader too. So
the male one named Aiden, the female Emma. So, what Lafayette does is he moves away from Tortall. He leaves. And he goes to Irontown. He goes, sets up a trading outpost, tries to fix a lot of what's there, tries to make a town of it, tries to reintegrate some drow society, like the arts and what was left. Try to talk to the Driders and get them trading. Maybe give them a little friends, maybe. Seem kind of lonely. Someone try that.
Small amount of $1 million.
Lafayette tries for another daughter. Yo, let me get that. 11.
Success.
Names are Gwendolyn. And she takes up in the bow, so he gives her Fenthras. And she eventually becomes an arcane archer. Magic. Arrows.
fire.
Yeah, she beat up her dad. It's kind of rude, but you know. So yeah.
Old man.
Thanks, Dave. He, as much as he tries, he never really reconnects with his mom because, you know, she kind of sucks. Probably never finds out whose dad is.
A green dragon.
He just assumed it was that one knight who he kept seeing in his memories whenever he would, who he assumed was the Death Knight that we fucking murdered.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Lafayette has a skull. I'm pretty sure we know what he's talking about.
Yeah. And
His armor
he
doesn't
just
light my armor. It's fine.
Theoretically, couldn't he cast legend lore and tell him who his dad is?
could.
If you really wanted to know.
But does he really want to know? Or
It's,
does he
hey,
just want
I-
to look and think, maybe he could be a decent guy. Maybe he could be that guy.
tries to.
I'm your papa.
Oops, the tree?
I fucked a tree once. Anyway, just tries to reconnect with the Drider, see if that works. I don't know, kind of assholes, but eventually, Irontown becomes habitable, kind of. It's a small trading post.
Maybe takes up a new name like Dusk Meadow.
And Orlando. I'm joking. Something like that. Actually, that's a really good
I
name.
shall
Dusk
name
Meadow.
him
That's pretty solid.
Orlando Bloom.
It's a place in Exandria. It sounded fucking awesome.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, Dusk Meadow sounds pretty lit.
No, they're gonna
And-
sue.
Actually,
How long do
the Dusk
elves
Meadow.
live? No, whatever.
Elves live for upwards of 750 years.
Not elves.
Oh.
Elves.
Half
About
Half
the
elves,
same
I
as-
believe, are 120.
Yeah.
About the same.
About the same as humans, if just an inch longer.
When he was like,
The
Worded.
Dusk Meadow is where the temple of the Raven Queen is.
Ah.
30 years later, whenever he's around 75 or ish, children are grown, his wife is taken care of. One day, Lafayette just disappears. They just think he's dead. They never know what happened to him.
You bitches go when you sleep. He just disappears. That's why he goes so early.
Did the twins show any prowess as adventurers?
Psychics.
Interestingly enough, they seem to have powers. Empathetic and telepathic.
I feel like one would just be like, "You're in trouble." No, I'm not. Yep.
Eventually, you grow an immunity to it if it's used too much on you.
Fair enough.
Who stole the cookie? It was Gwendolyn, you motherfucker.
You are the arrow.
You want to become a tree, motherfucker?
One becomes an empath and a
And-
telepath. The other can heat toaster strudel.
Knows the path.
Gwendolyn
Becomes a ranger.
is actually his hair. He gives her the rest of the responsibilities because she is. Honestly, Aiden and Emma are kind of.
Shitheads.
They're still childish, even though they've grown. They're really. They acted a lot older whenever they were younger, but now that they're older, they act. the same
Super
as-
irresponsibly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
So
Gwendolyn's-
adventures.
That's probably why my kids get along with them.
So yeah, Lafayette just disappears one day. Armor collection left. Most of his swords left. The only sword he has was a sword given him by a man he barely knew. It was Javor's sword. And yeah, that's it. Wait, did everybody die in their sleep except for me?
Yep.
Yeah, which I think's a little unrealistic, but that's fine.
It is, but that's fine. It's a fantasy game. When does it have to be real?
I know, but that just I don't know. Okay.
Just because I died in my sleep doesn't mean
We
I
get to
died
die
alive.
how we want to die. We don't have to.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because
I
I
feel
died-
like I don't know. I feel
Just
like if
because I
anything, mine's
died in
cheap.
my sleep doesn't mean I die. I don't die a lot when I'm fucking fighting things.
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
because I'm immortal doesn't mean I don't die.
Yes, Caleb. You look like you're ready to say something.
Yes.
Yes.
With the reemergence of dragons, the world changes drastically.
Oh shit! I forgot about working barbecue.
With the drastic with the drastic changes come new questions. How do you live in a world like this? No one knows anymore. There are a lot of trust issues. A lot of people who were told they were one thing are now finding out, hey, they're actually dragons. They've been dragons the whole time. They kind of sort of lied to you, but it was also kind of for their own protection. But they did really lie. So
Behead.
Like a lot of like human people, like a lot of people who are humans are just dragons.
pretty much. The members of Torch
Fucking terrifying.
are offered spots as specialty advisors to the crown in perpetuity.
No thanks.
Said offered, you didn't have to. As the Book of Time did not get used, it is put in a library started by someone to be kept for someone else who would be deemed worthy. Will Riel, being foretold as either great or terrible.
Oh shit! I wanted to find out who her dad was.
Never find out. Ends up, thankfully for everyone involved, going on to do great things.
Terrible.
That's my girl.
That'd be great. That's
She castrates a minotaur within like 3 minutes of her first adventure.
just by looking at him. No weapons evolved. It was fucking weird. It's like a can opener to styrofoam.
Oh.
He deserved it.
And that is the end of Torch. If you have made it with us this far, thanks for coming along on our journey.
Now go get a life.
And remember, Oomph died for our sins.
You okay?
We'll
You
take
fucked it up!
we'll take about a month break.
We'll take a couple months doing some one-shots,
Woo.
some mini-shots, random stuff,
Some
before
alcohol
campaign
shots.
2 starts. We'll see what those adventures bring. This has been Dex Save. Bye!
Bye.
Suck your dick for a toaster.
All right.